So we'll just go from like the gnarliest to the not as gnarly. Well, or, this is the most exciting one. So Christian Craig, first moto, he's in second. He's this guy right here. His body positioning looks great. Looks great. He's got his ass crack on the side of the seat. Maybe, I guess you could give him a hard time about the elbow not being up. But the reason why the elbow's down is because he's WFO. And when you're off cambered like this, you need to have some sort of traction to be able to hold you there. Because what happens if it breaks loose? You've got a factory 450 that has a factory ECU that, damn near should have traction control. But that's beside the point. Lots of power. Those Star Racing weed whackers have been known for lots of power. So too much power starts sliding out. Could you have just kept it pinned? And maybe would it have not whipped back, but came right back in? The whole fishtail would have overcorrected. Because right here, he's looking like he's pretty good. He's pretty good. The only problem is he's landing off the track. Would he have been okay if he would have stayed on the bike? Because right now, he's just decided to totally ditch it. Totally ditch it. Because, worst case scenario, he's going to wad hard. My only question is if he would have stayed on the bike, would he have crashed harder or would he have crashed not as hard? Because now, you've got no suspension helping you. You're going off the track. So from before you're 6 feet in the air, doing 35, 40 miles an hour. Now you go from 6 feet in the air to 10 feet in the air, landing on your heels. Look, okay, there's the bike. I would have said maybe it was possible if he would have just held on to the bike, he could have rode it out. But again, I'm not the professional. That's Craig, so he made a quick split decision, and more likely than not, he did the right thing. But I want to know in the comments below, what did you guys think? So this wasn't a crash, but this could have been a really bad one. You got Ty Masterpool, which again, hopefully the sport will have enough money to where every two-digit rider can make a decent living as opposed to a privateer effort. Yeah, I know AEO Motorsports is probably helping him out a ton, but this guy is more than likely probably just keeping what he kills as far as the purse. So it's just sad to see. See, that's me digressing. Anyway, this isn't even a crash, but we've got Faulkner pushing him off the track. This just could have been really bad. So he gets off the track, and this is where it gets bad. I feel there's probably some sort of a small ledge here, and not to mention, these giant plastic things that are meant to break away, meant to not kill you. However, they're meant to kind of be a deterrent so that you don't just plainly run over them because it's not a flag. It's this giant plastic thing. And if you hit it doing, 40 miles an hour, well, you're probably going to get some pretty good head shake. And that's exactly what it looked like happened. Boom. Hits it. It's no longer there. So did he hit it with his front wheel, fork guard? Or was it his foot peg? Was it his shifter? Because it's not there anymore. There. Not there. Ran completely over it. Now you've got some major head shake going at speed. Just same thing in road racing. If you hit a plastic bag, a grocery bag doing $1.60, it's going to kill you. Same principle here. This could have been so gnarly. And look at him cross over all the ruts here. My asshole puckered watching this. I'm glad he's okay. Next up, we've got privateer superstar Jerry Robin. And what it looked like happened to him is he overjumped this triple. It's sitting down. Perfect setup, getting ready for that outside. The only problem is sometimes when you land sitting down, the suspension does a nice little funny thing that rebounds on you. Perhaps maybe if you would have landed a little bit back here, this wouldn't have happened. But again, Jerry Robin, if you're watching this and I'm completely full of BS, just message me, brother. So, boom, boom, boom. Preload, right? Compresses, kind of bunny hops on him. Now, what's happening with that front wheel? Well, that front wheel comes over the nice fancy rut here. Never good. So now you're just riding off of it, rear wheel stays in it, and you fall down. Looks like he tried to correct it because he's going, oh man, I'm already going down. Maybe put his foot down to try to get it to go back. And so you're letting off the gas, and what happens? Front wheel ends up just sticking. And that's why I kind of think that this track, because it was so muddy in qualifying and, you know, the couple days beforehand, it got really deep ruts. Looked like he almost hurt his arm as well. Didn't hit his head, which is good. This track is, the suspension on it, while looking at it, it never looked like any of the bikes were really, even the factory bikes, it didn't look like they were settling very well because you had such big bumps. You know, the first moto I felt looked better. However, digressing some more, I feel the suspension had to be soft because of the big bumps, but because it's so fast, you wanted it to be stiff so that you don't get weird head shake or anything. So you had to pick, do I want really stiff suspension and it's not going to feel that good in the real deep bumpy stuff because of how wet it was. It got really bumpy, right? Big bumps. But then the choppy stuff, you want it to be fast enough to where it'll move around it. So you're not going to pack the suspension because it's so soft, and if it's not fast enough, it's just going to go do, and then it's going to feel super harsh, and you're going to get real bad arm pump. It's going to suck. So you want it to be soft and fast. Well, you can't have both when the bumps are so big, and there's a lot of them. So I feel a lot of this stuff, the bike's preloaded, kind of hopped out of the ruts here. And let me give you a couple more examples. So here in Qualify, we have Mr. Sexton, the new Honda Phenom, who's going to take over everything. Just my opinion, I hope Roxon's going to win. But this is about crashing, right? So you've got really deep ruts because of how muddy it is. So you want the suspension to be able to move over it, almost like enduro cross, how those, you don't have supercross suspension trying to go through a matrix section. You're going to endo over everyone. You got to have like damn near no dampening, just all pogo stick suspension in order to get through that stuff. So here we see him, he's hauling ass, by the way, too. So this could just be more of a speed deal, but there's a huge bump in this rut here and it's off camber. So boom. Little rebound, little kick. His body position is great. He's in that attack position, back on the bike, feet on the pegs. So he did a good job soaking it up, but the rear wheel is not on the ground. So, you know, it's hard to move the bike with the power. So damn near, now it finally falls and bounces and it pushes him over. Pushes him over. Same thing that happened to Robin, just in an off camber. And then the last example is we're going to use Ty Masterpool again. You can't really see this here. Hauling ass going down. Both of the suspension here, you can see like it's supposed to. It's supposed to rebound on you. Here just looks like it kind of, his foot's already down. So this was probably just him going too fast downhill and then trying to square back up. So his weight was all off and he just pushed it over the front. If he would have had stiffer suspension, would that have helped? Possibly. But it's ironic that these guys are all going down by pushing the front end. So it makes me feel that they're losing traction because it's a little bit more of a pogo stick. It might be faster. So it's the kind of thing like in Supercross, you want to set the bike up for the whoops if you're scared of the whoops because you want it to feel good. The same thing here. If you're setting the bike up to feel good around the majority of the big stuff, well, the little stuff isn't going to feel as good. So that's my 2 cents. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you. Until next time, this is Johnny Hopper. Bravo, boy.